Have you ever heard of a sword stuck in a stone, a legendary king, and a magical island shrouded in mist? Today, we're rediving deep into one of the most famous legends of all time, the story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. This isn't just a tale of swords and sorcery. It's a story about destiny, honor, love, and betrayal that has captivated people for centuries. So, grab a seat, and let's travel back to the mythical kingdom of Camelot. Our story begins in a time of chaos in Britain. The land is without a true king, torn apart by warring lords. Into this turmoil, a wise and powerful magician named Merlin devises a plan. He enchants a magnificent sword and embeds it deep within a stone. An inscription on the stone declares that whoever can pull the sword from the stone is the rightful king of all Britain. Knights and nobles from far and wide travel to attempt the feat, but none can budge the sword, not even an inch. The sword and the stone becomes a symbol of a kingdom waiting for its hero. Meanwhile, a young boy named Arthur is living a quiet life, unaware of his royal lineage. He's being raised by a knight named Sir Ector, alongside his foster brother. King Arthur is kind-hearted and humble, with no idea of the grand destiny that awaits him. One day, a great tournament is held, and Kay, now a young knight, forgets his sword. He sends Arthur to fetch it for him. In his haste, Arthur stumbles upon a churchyard where he sees a sword gleaming in a stone, not knowing its significance. He thinks it's just a random sword and decides to take it for Kay. With ease, he pulls the sword, Excalibur, from the stone. When Arthur returns with the sword, people are stunned. Sir Ector immediately recognizes it and realizes the boy he raised is the prophesied king. At first, no one believes that this young, unknown boy could be their ruler. But when Arthur places the sword back into the stone and pulls it out again in front of everyone, their doubts vanish. The crowd cheers, and Arthur is crowned King of Britain. His reign marks the beginning of a golden age. As king, Arthur establishes his court at Camelot, a magnificent castle that becomes a beacon of hope and justice. He knows he can't rule alone, so he gathers the bravest and most honorable knights in the land to join him. But how do you prevent jealousy and rivalry among such powerful warriors? Arthur's solution is brilliant: the Round Table. He commissions a massive circular table where all his knights can sit as equals. There is no head of the table, meaning every knight, from the most famous to the newest recruit, has an equal voice. This symbolizes the unity and fellowship of his kingdom. These men become the legendary Knights of the Round Table. Among these knights are some of the most famous names in legend. There's Sir Lancelot, the greatest swordsman and Arthur's most trusted friend. There's Sir Galahad, the purest of heart, destined for a divine quest. And Sir Gawain, Arthur's loyal nephew, known for his courtesy and courage. Together, they embark on heroic quests, fighting dragons, rescuing damsels, and defending the weak. They live by a strict code of chivalry, vowing to be brave, just, and merciful. Camelot flourishes under their protection, becoming a realm of peace and prosperity, unlike any seen before. Of course, no epic tale is complete without romance. The great love story of Camelot is between King Arthur and the beautiful Guinevere. Their marriage unites two powerful kingdoms and seems to be a perfect match. Guinevere is admired for her grace and intelligence, and she becomes the beloved queen of Camelot. However, a shadow looms over this seemingly perfect union. Sir Lancelot, Arthur's best friend, and Queen Guinevere fall deeply in love. They struggle with their feelings, torn between their love for each other and their loyalty to Arthur. This forbidden love becomes the tragic flaw that will eventually threaten to bring the entire kingdom crashing down. Adding to the drama is Arthur's half-sister, the sorceress Morgan Le Fay. She despises Arthur and uses her dark magic to plot against him. One of her most devastating acts involves tricking Arthur, which leads to the birth of their son, Mordred. Raised to hate his father, Mordred grows up to be a cunning and ruthless knight who becomes a constant threat to Camelot's stability. He represents the dark side of Arthur's own lineage, a secret that haunts the king and foreshadows future conflict. Merlin, the wise wizard, foresees all this tragedy but is eventually tricked by a sorceress and imprisoned, leaving Arthur to face his destiny alone. The ultimate quest for the Knights of the Round Table is the search for the Holy Grail, This is said to be the cup that Jesus used at the Last Supper, believed to possess miraculous healing powers. The quest is not just a physical journey. It's a spiritual test. Only a knight pure of heart and spirit can succeed. Many knights, including Lancelot, attempt the quest, but are deemed unworthy because of their sins. In the end, it is Sir Galahad, Lancelot's son, who proves to be the chosen one. Along with Sir Bors and Sir Percival, he finds the Grail. After completing this divine mission, Galahad ascends to heaven, leaving the world behind. The quest for the Grail takes a toll on the Round Table, as many knights never return, weakening the Fellowship. With the Fellowship weakened and Merlin gone, Mordred seizes his opportunity. While Arthur is away fighting a war in France, Mordred exposes the affair between Lancelot and Guinevere. The news shatters the court. Lancelot is forced to flee, and Guinevere is sentenced to be burned at the stake for her betrayal. Although Lancelot returns to rescue her, the damage is done. The Brotherhood of the Round Table is broken. Mordred uses this chaos to declare himself king, plunging Britain back into civil war. Arthur must return to reclaim his throne from his treacherous son. This leads to the final, tragic Battle of Camelot. It's a devastating conflict where father and son face each other on the battlefield. Arthur, though weary, fights valiantly. In a climactic duel, Arthur runs Mordred through with a spear. As he falls, Mordred deals Arthur a mortal wound. The battle is won, but at a terrible cost. Almost all the knights of the Round Table lie slain. The golden age of Camelot is over. As Arthur lies dying, he gives one final command to one of his last surviving knights, Sir Bedivere. He instructs him to return the magical sword, Excalibur, to the Lady of the Lake from whom it originally came. Bedivere is reluctant to throw such a magnificent sword away and twice disobeys. But Arthur insists. On the third attempt, Bedivere throws Excalibur into the water. A mysterious arm, clothed in white silk, rises from the lake, catches the sword, brandishes it 3 times, and then disappears back into the depths. With its final task complete, the dying Arthur is carried to a mysterious barge, where 3 queens, including Morgan Le Fay, who seems to have had a change of heart, await him. They sail away to the mythical island of Avalon, a place of magic and healing. Legend says that Arthur's not truly dead, but is merely sleeping in Avalon, waiting for the day when his country needs him most, at which point he will return to rule again. He is known as the once and future king. And so, the story of King Arthur ends, not with a definitive death, but with a promise of return. It's a timeless legend that explores the highest ideals of humanity, justice, and loyalty, as well as our deepest flaws, jealousy, betrayal, and pride. The tale of Camelot, the Round Table, and the once-and-future king continues to inspire us to believe in the possibility of a better world and the heroes who fight for it. What's your favorite part of the Arthurian legend? Is it the magic of Merlin, the bravery of Lancelot, or the tragedy of Arthur's fall? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into legend, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from history and myth. See you next time.